Let me get into it. You will never fucking guess what.
They've killed Steve.
Bum, 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 bum. He may have put it in her ass. He's getting all snake hips with it. I'm about to read a bitch to absolute filth.
Hi, can I order tea and 2 sugars, please?
Hello guys and welcome back to Tea and 2 Sugars. My name's Tatty, your host, who's had an absolutely exhilarating week this past week. I've been super busy. I've been in the Cotswolds. I had a little staycation with Nix. It was sensational. It was like The Traitors, okay? If you've watched any of these podcasts so far, you will know my absolute love and desire to be on The Traitors. So it was a dream come true. It was hosted by Nix, and Komodo, which they just do events so good. And there was an MC called Chris who was absolutely fantastic. He wore jodhpurs and a top hat, and then at one point he had a cape and he was just mincing everywhere. It was so good, so good. And then we had to find out who the traitor was. And the traitor was supposedly sabotaging the games that we were doing. I went up against Matthew_Kenyon twice, and we were doing sumo wrestling in slime. And he kept grabbing me by the fucking collar of my sumo suit. I was like, are you trying to kill me? You're grabbing me by the jugular, boy. Stop it. I've got a bulging disc, don't you know? do be so gentle and kind with me. But yeah, it was so good. And then came home. We went to Amelia's the other day for her birthday. Had a cheeky little Chinese. I've just been chilling over the weekend. We actually have a special guest today, guys. Jordan is not helping me today. Sophia's here. Say hi, Sophia. Hey. Sophia is I can't call I'm not very good at doing this in front of people other than Jordan. So we're currently cringing at my career choice. Of course, as well, I'm joined by Joe. If you are new here, this is Joseph, the cup of Joe. He is my co-host. He chimes in every now and again with like a bit of tea, a bit of like nice, wise words, don't you, Joseph? Man of many words. Anyway, today is a really, really fun episode. I'm going to be telling you all my own stories. A lot of you always ask my stories on my TikTok, so I thought to celebrate 5 episodes of this darling podcast now, I'm going to do a tatty tell-all. But first, we've got to go into my boiling point and my 2 sugars. My boiling point for this week has been, do you remember, actually this is a full circle moment, my hot water bottle. I think I showed it maybe the last episode. Who fucking knows when that was? The bastard thing did me dirty. You know when everyone's like, replace your hot water bottles, they'll leak, they'll burn you. Well, guess what happened last night, guys? I'm sat in the car, I'm thinking, God, my hot water bottle's a bit warm. I'm sweating. No, the bastard motherfucker had leaked all over my own arse, all over my car seat. Because we went to Sophia's last night for a roast. I said, Sophia, look at my pants. I'd got grey pants on. There was literally like a line of sodden versus dry. So that really wound me up because it's like, you're supposed to help me and here you are doing me dirty. Then I had to sit with a soggy bum whilst I ate my roast dinner. And my car seat is still wet, by the way, just in case anyone's wondering. What are we now, like 18 hours later? Thankfully, I didn't burn myself. I didn't get a burnt bum. Could you imagine if I'd done that? I'd have to sit here doing the podcast like I'd just been for a BBL in Turkey. Like, hi guys, welcome to the podcast. Anyway, so that's not boiling point was my hot water bottle bursting on me. And my 2 sugars. Let's have a wee think here. Oh, do you know what, guys? It's got to be my new hair. I've got new hair. You can't tell. But I've got like blonde bits. I've got a full head. You what? You absolute snake. You didn't know I got... No. Sophia! This is how I know it's bad that I don't wear my hair down, because I have a full blonde section of my hair. There's like a blonde bit at the back. Sophia, be for fucking real, sis.
You since you've done this.
Yeah, I saw you last night. I had it done last Tuesday. Yeah, I've got highlights and dimension through my hair now, guys.
Oh my God, I can see.
Yeah, welcome to the chat, Sophia. So yeah, I've got new hair and I am doing no slick February, guys. Are we going to do it? Are we not? Do you know what? I saw this one video of this one girl who just had this fantastic hair and I thought, I ordered that, please. So I'm not doing a slick for a month to see if it changes. Because also when I was having my hair done, Babs, my hairdresser, God bless her, was like, have you been doing lots of slick backs? I said, absolutely not, Barbara, no. No. I don't actually know if her name is Barbara. I'll just call her Babs. That's her fucking name. I was like, no, Babs, why? She goes, your scalp. Oh, and if you're going to tell me I've got a bald spot, Babs, what goes on back there is none of my business. I don't want to know about it. She's like, no, it's just really red. So we're not slicking it back no more. I'm doing bouncy blow dries. And I actually do get quite a few compliments on my hair. So from a vain perspective, we're not slicking it. It's bouncy blowing. Blowies all February. Anyway, my second sugar for this week, we do weekly episodes here, is, what's the word I'm looking for? Not organic, genuine, I can't say this with Spirit of the Room, genuine female friendships. They are so hard to find, especially in your 20s. And I was sat around with the girlies on Friday and with Sophia last night. I was like, I have been through my fair share of bad friendships, and maybe I've played my role in them not being the best, but I'm quite self-aware and I think actually I've been quite good. So I just thought it's so hard to find, and especially in the industry I'm in, you never know who's like just sort of tagging along or there for the ride, or especially because a lot of my friends are TikTokers as well. People just using each other and like a lot of jealousies involved. But with these girlies, it's all just so wholesome and kind. I think that's the best word to describe it, kind. So that's my boiling point, my two sugars. My boiling point, my wet ass from a hot water bottle, genuine female friendships, and my bouncy blowies.
Don't forget to tell us what's in the cup.
Oh my God, today in the cup, we actually have Coke, pure Coca-Cola with ice. I've got ice. I wonder if I can you hear the ice? I really don't think you're going to be able to hear the ice. But it's cold. She's refreshing on the throat. You know, when it goes down, it's like, I imagine, you know, the Gaviscon advert where they like come around with a little hose. That's how I picture that. So first sip, best sip. Right, first story, let's go. Okay, so my first story I wasn't going to tell until approximately 45 minutes ago when I spoke to the people around me. And I said, is this a good idea? I watched Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show and how petty he was with Drake and how he pulled him apart and shaded him during the halftime Super Bowl show. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to be that level of petty as well. The moment I realised that I had outgrown a friendship. Here we go. I'm going to put my glasses on this because I am about to read a bitch to absolute filth. So here we go. So, I would always preference in these types of situations that there is two sides to every story. I have always struggled with friendships, I fear, until maybe the past 3 years. And I wanted to tell this as like a cautionary tale because I have always thought, God, there's something wrong with me. I've always looked for like the green flags in people when they are not. That's not the colour we should be looking for, guys. We should be looking for red. Okay? Did we hear that? Red. I was going to say I'm a walking red flag. But here we are. My glasses are digging into my ear canals. So I met these girls before I had started doing makeup. We worked together. It was such a nice, tight friendship. We saw each other every day, worked with each other for like 15 hours a day. Got on so well with them, and I was like, oh my God, these are my people. Like, just pure banter. Used to cry, laugh with each other, but was also so supportive. They were the first group of girls to really support me when I started doing makeup before I was on TikTok, just Instagram. They would big me up, they would share my posts, and I had never had that type of support from anyone to do with my makeup beforehand. Like, that's such public, like, support. And then things went on, and eventually my TikTok really, really blew up. Again, they were super, super supportive, and it was getting to the point where I was ready to leave my job. I was working at a company doing makeup. I was their social media assistant, and TikTok was sort of like ticking away underneath. And this is a side quest, but my job basically told me that didn't enjoy who I was working with outside of my 9 to 5, who I was working with on my TikTok. And they said that they were going to give me a pyramid on what brands I could and couldn't work with. And I was like, absolutely not. Don't ever let anyone tell you what you can and can't do with your own business, girls. So I had 2 weeks off and I decided that I was going to give TikTok a full go. This was going to be my ish. They were very supportive. Winner. This is when the tide turned. And I noticed certain comments would be made. One of which, I'd got a new dress. It was my friend's birthday. I got a new dress. And she'd said, God, I wish I was a rich influencer so I could buy myself new things. Bear in mind, it was a £25 ASOS dress. Like, it wasn't actually that expensive. And then I also hadn't been paid from a single job at that point since I'd gone self-employed. And I'd gone self-employed in April. It was fucking June. So this was like a way off. So that was the first comment from one of these girls. Then we need to give them names. Let's call them Amy and Stacey. Stacey booked for mine and Amy's birthday a trip to Belgium for 24 hours, which, might I add, very fun to do. Like, get on a flight in the morning at 6. No, it was earlier than that. It was like 5 a.m, land in Belgium at 6:30. We had a full day there. It would have been a great day. But I'm sat in the airport and I was about to hit 600k followers. Or maybe I was about to hit 700k. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, I'm nearly there. 4 a.m. in the fucking airport, sat a giraffe. This, I was going to say motherfucker, turns to me and goes, do you know, Tatty, I've decided I'm not going to celebrate any of your achievements anymore because you keep having too many of them. And I was like, oh, okie dokie, cool. And you know, when you look back and you think, how I didn't say anything at the time is beyond me. Like, it just baffles me so much. I really should have written stuff down because I'm flip-flopping here. But we went on this trip. That comment was made at 4 a.m. Then the whole fucking reason we were going here is because we wanted to get I Heart Belgium t-shirts, and we were going to wear them and we were going to take pictures of them around Belgium. It was just going to be really fucking cute. So I walk into this little merch shop and I buy my top. I put my top on and we walk out of the shop. They didn't buy a top. They didn't do nothing. So now I'm walking around looking like a certified wanker in my I Heart Belgium top with my 2 cute looking friends in these really gorgeous outfits, and I look like a knob. Now, I didn't really take myself that seriously, but I was like, okay, here we go. And then throughout the day, again, little things were being said. We were doing like this cute little pizza shot with like the pizzas dangling down. And I took some pictures and then we all did the same pictures. And they were like, ugh, these fucking influencers taking pictures. I was like, you've just taken the same pictures as me. And I feel like the worst one, this was diabolical. We were sat in Spoons one day and a friend of mine had just started posting on social media. And I said, wow, how incredible she's doing that. But her friends were making fun of her behind to her face. They were like, so embarrassing that you're doing that. Can't believe it. You know, you need to stop. It's a bit of an ick. And I was like, I just don't understand why you'd shun someone for trying to, you know, have a hobby or make money from social media when you've seen how lucrative it can be. And Stacey looked me dead ass in the eye and went, yeah, at least we made fun of you behind your back when you started doing it. The stun on my face. I was like, and it came out so quick that it surely wasn't a joke. And everything that was said, I was like, this must be, that's got to be true. And then the same day, a friend walked in. She'd been like to a christening or a wedding or something with her family. And they were like, oh, this is blah, blah, this is blah, blah. And they went, this is Tatty. She's the one that gives me free makeup. And I was like, oh, it's not Tatty who I used to work with, or it's not Tatty who we went blah, blah with. It's Tatty who gives her the free makeup, because sometimes I give my PR to my friends. And after Belgium, so we're back in Belgium again now, I had decided that I was not feeling great. Like, have you ever been in one of those situations where, first of all, you realise that these are no longer your people and it's awful? And I'd say I'm quite a strong person now, but all I wanted was my boyfriend. Like, I just needed him to give me a hug. And I was so far away from home. And then we sat in the fucking airport and the plane was delayed for 4 hours. 4 hours! And I'd already decided that I was not going to see these girls again after this. And which, for me, who I thought I'd found these like long-lasting friendships, bridesmaid level friendships, I was so heartbroken by it. Anyway, sat on this bloody airport floor, just like I don't say this like for attention, borderline panic attack. Like I just felt awful. I texted my boyfriend, I said, you need to come and pick me up from Amy's house and I need you to be stood out the car because I needed to walk up to him and him hug me straight away. That's all I needed, was just needed for someone to hold me. And then I drove home looking out the window of the car with some sad songs on. I just sobbed the whole way home and I haven't spoken to them since. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lesson on if somebody shows you who they are, you need to hear them. Don't look at their actions from the past. Listen to the words that someone is speaking because that is their present feelings about you. There were so many things that went down with these girls and I have so much love still for them and I hope they're doing well. Like, I will never wish ill on anybody. But I do wish that they've learned to speak to people a bit nicer, like, because you can't carry on through life speaking to people like that. And I know there is a lot of girls out there that really do struggle with female friendships. It is really tough and making new friends is really hard. But eventually you will find people that really do ride for you and will support you unconditionally. Like I've been friends with Sophia before TikTok blew up. I've been friends with Sophia within my first 3 weeks of posting and she's got a screenshot or found a message where I was like, I hate the word, I'm going to be TikTok famous one day. And like, here we are. She's not friends with me because I've got 1.4 mil followers or because I do all right or because I've got a nice car or whatnot. Whereas it very much gave jealousy. And one of my friends actually said to me, the problem is, Tatty, is some people really enjoy seeing people struggle. And that goes for a lot on social media these days. I've seen a lot of discourse online about people being like, I don't really like following these creators anymore. Like they're so out of touch when they've made it and quit their jobs. But at the end of the day, if you hadn't followed them, they wouldn't have got to that point in life. And it's because people enjoy seeing the struggle sometimes. Trust me, some people do get out of touch. I'm not saying that at all. But you will find the people that will love you for your soul, for your heart, for your brain, not for the things that you have, you look like, you do for work, you carry. It is really tough. And I'm so glad that I went through those things now because now I value the friendships I have more and I also know when to call people the fuck out because I think sometimes airing it is a bit better. Maybe if I had aired it then, I'd still be friends with them, but I didn't need people like that in my life. So this happened, the whole t-shirt thing happened like start of June and I went on holiday with like all my group of friends now in July. It was around my birthday and I'd asked if we could do something for my birthday whilst we were out there because I wasn't going to see them on my actual birthday. God, how many times could I say birthday in that sentence? And first of all, they did me like a surprise dinner, which I had no clue about. And then halfway through the dinner, I went to the toilet and I came back and they were all wearing I Heart Mallorca tops. And I was like, here we fucking go. Like that just says everything. It meant so much. And if you're listening, thank you so much for doing that for me. I will never forget that. So listen to the words that people says. And that goes for everyone, your boyfriend, your partner, your friends, family, colleagues. Listen to what they're saying because it's normally the truth. And that's that. I wasn't too sure on this type of podcast whether to do like am I the arsehole vibe or read from my phone. So we're trying a bit of everything here because I've written notes on the next one because the timeline was quite intense. So this story is titled, Am I the arsehole for not telling my next door neighbour that her baby daddy is cheating on her? Joe, what do you think? Okay. Right. So basically this was in my old flat, my old apartment building. You could hear everything that went down in that apartment. There was so much drama. And you do realise in those situations that like everyone has their own situations going on. So basically there was this guy that lived next door and he was a proper enigma. He'd be there for like 3 days and then I'd not see him for like 3 months and then he'd come back for a few weeks and then you'd never see him again and you could always tell when he was in because his aftershave filled like the stairway where we had our doors. He'd fucking slam it, walk in, bang! Oh, sorry, Joe. Bang the front door, and then he'd bum, 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 bum. Joe, he'd bum, bum, bum up the stairs, and then he'd go in the door like he was trying to punch his way through. He's like, boom! Wow, wow, wow. Door open, slam. Be like, he's in. Steve's home. So one night, Jordan and I are lying there. It's a Friday night, and we used to like play a game called The Forest. So we hear boom, 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 slam, key go in the door, clack, clack, door shut. But we heard a female voice and we were like, hang on a damn minute. We'd seen a woman going in and out this flat randomly, but didn't know if it was like a cleaner or someone like that. So we hear a female voice and we're like, oh, let's get it on. And you, trust me, you could hear everything. So we're playing the game, finishing up, doing the closing shift. It's about half an hour since they've come home. We're just like doing a bit of washing up, spraying the surfaces, putting the cushions on the sofa, you know the vibe. Then I hear what I can only describe as passionate lovemaking. Now, in the way to describe this, like my office was here and their living room was here. I was mere feet away from this rampant pounding that was going on in the flat next door. I could hear everything, what he was saying to her, what she was saying to him. I could hear it all. I'm surprised I didn't hear the flipping condom wrapper open. So we're like, great, this is going to be awkward when we see him the next morning. So we go to sleep. I don't know what happened with them. The next day, door slam, bang, stomp, 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 upstairs. And we hear bang, bang, bang. Let me in. It's another woman. I'm like, oh, we have a scenario. He opens the door. She goes in, bang, door slam. Me and John are like, ears pressed up against the front door at the peephole, trying to look what's going on. And it's a different woman from last night. It's a fucking different woman from last night. And she is holding a child. A child. I don't know how old this child was. Definitely under 1 year of age. I was like, oh, is that his child? That's awkward. Are they together? Do they not live together? So many questions. Then we hear, who is she? Did you sleep with her? And he's like, no, I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're on about. And me and John were like, he fucking did. He was cheating on you. We're like, ears pressed up against, trying to hear everything. She's like, I pay for everything. I pay for you to live here and you go behind my back and cheat on me. And he's like, I've not cheated on you. I promise I've not cheated on you. And me and John were like, we are faced with a moral issue here. Because, right, well, basically, this man was the child's father and she was paying for him to live in the flat so he could be close to the child. And he was bringing new women into the house and shagging her on the sofa of all places. Yeah, it was a strange situation. That was about 3 p.m. in the afternoon. They didn't stop arguing. The child left at one point. They didn't stop arguing until 3 p.m. The next day, the Lord's Day of all days, they're still going at it. And I was like, I'm going to have to go around in a minute and tell them to keep it down. Yappa, yappa, yappa. He fucking cheated on you many, many times, may I add. Do apologise. Please stop yelling. Just leave. But there was loads of weird things that went on with that flat. Like, I don't really think he was supposed to be living there. And then our landlord tried to drag us into that drama. It was a lot. I think he still lives there, actually. I keep having to go back and get my parcels and I can always smell his fucking aftershave. But yeah, strange lad. Anyway, if you're that girl and you're listening, I really probably should have told you. But surprise! I've told you now. But you deserve a better baby daddy than him. I hope he's paying his way and supporting his child because that child was never fucking there. So yeah, I hope you're all right. I hope you've got like a nice guy supporting you and loving you. And if you're the guy that was cheating, don't. It's as easy as that. Pay your rent. Pay your own way to be there. And step up. Story number 3. Now, there seems to be a reoccurring theme on this podcast about swinging. I promise you, it is not a background thing that is going on in my life. It just seems to be popping up. I've spoken about it in the past 3 episodes. I think I might have mentioned this story previously, but I'm going to tell you the details. And I have written this one down because I knew I would tell it wrong. There's a lot of characters in this one. Let me introduce you to them. We have Steve and Amy, of course. Steve and Amy. Then we have Dave and Stacey. They're a couple. I think that's everyone. Oh, and then we have, right, Steve and Amy, Dave and Stacey, holiday friends. I'm not giving them names. TUI rep. Yeah, this happened at a TUI. If you want to sponsor me, TUI, crack the fuck on. Okay. This story is titled, We Caught an Elderly Swingers Couple in Our Hotel. So Jordan and I are in Morocco 3 years ago, and it was our first night there. We were going down to suss out the entertainment. The entertainment for that night was salsa lessons. My boyfriend is built like a wooden plank and was a little concerned on how he was going to get jiggy with it. If you don't know, I have a background in dance, so I was not concerned. Jordan is on his 3rd rum and coke. Jordan doesn't drink that much. So he's getting loose in the hips. He's getting all snake hips with it. So we're sat there, and I don't know if you've ever done this on holiday. It really made me giggle. But you sit around the pool and you automatically just found a hatred for one person for no reason. And you're just like, you're fucking me off. I now don't like you. Please tell me someone has done that. So we're looking around the bar, we're sussing out the demographic of the gaff, trying to work out who these types of people are. There was like a mix of ages. There was a really nice group of young people we did get really good friends with in the end. So shout out to you if you're listening. So we sat down. I was like, Jordan, look at that. Look at them over there. And it's basically a big sofa with like 7 couples on it. And they're all between the age of like 60 to 75. It's like, oh, that's nice that they've come on like a group trip away to Morocco, a cultural place. And then it was like a big long sofa, but one little stool next to it. And there was this one guy sat on the stool like this. And the rest of the group had their back turned to him. We're going to call Toadstool Man Steve. Steve is very important to this. So they're all chatting, but they don't look very happy. They're all like, I was like, God, something's happened there, Jordan. And Jordan just has no clue what's going on because he's like salsa dancing with 3 rum and cokes in it, like, yada-da-da. So obviously, at this point, we're confused as to what's gone down. We get on with the salsa lesson. Me and Jordan make friends with the TUI reps. And we go down for breakfast the next morning, of course. And obviously, when you're at an all-inclusive, you see the same folks all the time. We saw them again. But Steve, again, was ostracised. They're on this big table for 8 and Steve's on a table for 1. I'm thinking, this is bullying. Why are we bullying Steve here? Something must have gone down. And this is when they now became our poolside entertainment. All right. We were watching these. It was like sunglasses on, like, Jordan, Stacey's got up, Mary's got up. That's Mary's 4th porn star. She's getting a bit loose. It was absolutely hilarious. And they had like cabana things. So they'd all be like, all these like wrinkly 60-year-old men and women would be like lying on these cabanas. I thought, well, isn't it nice at that ripe age that they've got such close friendships with each other and there's nice couples to support one another? Little did I know. I just went so cross-eyed when I said that. Little did I know. So this is when we noticed, enter the chat, Stacey and Dave. Stacey and Dave would always be with Amy. So Amy would be like her head lying on Amy's legs, or she'd always be like cozied up to Dave. And I was like, wow, polyamory in the later stages in life, how quaint and lovely, it's so wholesome. But then we realised that actually Amy was with Steve. I don't know how we came to that presumption, I can't remember. God, something's really gone down here. That night, we're back at the bar and Steve isn't there. We were like, bum, bum, bum. They've killed Steve. Steve's gone. They've lost Steve in the souk somewhere. He's gone off on like a nice adventure somewhere and just never come back. And none of them seemed to care. We were like, where is Steve? It was a quiz night. And I was like, I can't focus on any of the answers, guys. The only question I want answering here is where the fuck is Steven? So the drama of it all. At this point, we have made holiday friends, and to them, we're telling them about it. We're like, you need to look at this, look at the demographic, look at the situation that's going on, look at the relationships between all of them. They all mingle between each other, but not Steve. Steve's not here at the moment. We're telling the TUI rep about it. So then the next day, me and Jordan go on a gorgeous trip to, it was either quad biking or we went to this beautiful, it was like the tallest waterfall in Africa. Something really cute and wholesome like that. We get back. Holiday friends run up to us. TUI rep runs up and goes, you will never fucking guess what. Basically, they had overheard that this whole group of people, elderly swingers, right? Now, as I've said in many other episodes, the importance when it comes to swinging, so I've heard, is that you set boundaries with your partner and other people's partners. There should always be a mutual respect there. I really promise you guys, I have never been swinging in my life. Okay?
What I've been told. Oh, yeah.
So I've heard on the grapevine. Basically, there'd been I don't know what they're called, a session, a party. Steve had taken it too far with one of the other wives. And I fear he may have put it in her arse. Without asking her husband. So, basically, they'd found out, and the night before the salsa party, big brawl, big fisticuffs, pow, 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 pew, pew, fisticuffs between the woman's husband and Steve. They'd been like split up, they'd been told to separate, but obviously they're in a fucking sex ring together, so they can't separate. So that's why I think, personally, my presumption here is that it was something to do with Dave and Stacey, and that's why Amy was so close to them, because they were like experiencing the same thing together. But thinking about it, if my man had taken it too far with someone, I'd be like, you were also involved in that situation, so don't fucking speak to me. So that was that. I can genuinely just see this little man. He looked like the angry frog jelly cat. That is the best way I can describe this man. And eventually I think they did make up, but there'd been a big fight and they'd had to like separate, whether that's still a thing or not. But yeah, bless Steve, he really ruined that for himself, because he could have had a full 10 days of shagging, but he spent 3 of it sulking, being on his own, because he'd taken it too far. God damn it, Steve. God damn it, Steve. Always.
Found out about this.
So we found out about it because the TUI rep had heard from the security guys that had split up the fight that that's what the fight was about. The tea of it all.
Not the TUI rep baiting them out.
Yeah, the TUI rep was like, oh, but the TUI rep was like 19. So she was like vibing with us. And I imagine if you've got these like elderly people, as soon as you see someone under the age of 46, you're like, woohoo, friends. So we were really vibing with her. And yeah, that's mine and Jordan's only swingers experience. That is the maximum amount of knowledge we have, is just Steve, Amy, Dave and Stacey. Yeah, what a time to be alive. Also, those TUI reps, Randy. This is a side story, but it's a cracking holiday. So basically, we met the TUI rep. We'll call her, fucking, I need a new name, Lucy. Lucy had a co-worker called, I'm going to call her Amy just for ease, who had another co-worker called Steve. Amy had a boyfriend. She was from down south in the UK. Amy had a boyfriend. And as soon as she moved out to Morocco, they were together for like 3 weeks. And then I think they broke up, but they were kind of still together. But Amy had been sleeping with Steve, who was Moroccan and also a TUI rep, while she was still with her boyfriend. And they'd been doing it really, really loud. And the manager had to come down and be like, you're not allowed to have relationships because you're at work. So shush. And then when we were doing the salsa lessons, as per mentioned prior, Amy and Steve were dancing with each other, and it was a bit spicy. Then I thought, fucking hell, Jordan, we don't look anything like these pair. I look like a flipping praying mantis, and you're a plank of wood. Like, we need to get more Steve and Amy with it. Anyway, come to find out, they were actually intimate with each other, so that's probably where that spice came from on that holiday. So if you do really want a drama-filled holiday, Rio Tequila Gardens. It was a really nice hotel, actually, guys. It was so nice. 10 out of 10 recommend. The service was incredible. I've never experienced service like it, even in like 5-star hotels. That place was incredible. Okay, so this story is titled, I got involved in a cheating scandal at work. Story time. I've not said a single story time this whole podcast. Am I all right? What's wrong with me? It's the last bloody story and I've only just said it. God, I can tell I'm really thrown off my own game. So, anyway, this literally happened in October. It's fresh in the brain. Two characters you need to know about in this situation. Steve and Amy. Steve has a girlfriend. Amy has a husband and kids. Joe, what do you think about that? I fucking know. So they were a part of my team, and we all loved them both at the start. I thought they were great, really supportive. Specifically Steve, sweet baby angel, caring, kind, couldn't hurt a fly kind of guy. He had a girlfriend who he thought the absolute world of. He's telling me how he's going to propose next year on September 21st. It's a song, 21st of September.
Yeah. Not on Earth, Wind and Fire.
What's it? How's it go? Remember the 21st night of September. Well, no, she doesn't anymore because she cheated on her, so she can't propose now. So he was telling us all about that. It's Saturday night, okay? Saturday night, pub night. We all go to the pub. He'd been telling us about his girlfriend, and we were like, babe, we need to meet your girlfriend. He is sat on a bench, and we'd already noticed this friendship forming between Steve and Amy. Like, that's a little odd, but in the performing world, you see these, like, weird friendships form. Like, you can be friends with, like, a 57-year-old man, and that can be your best mate. So we've all seen this going down. We meet the girlfriend. The girlfriend, we loved the girlfriend, didn't we, Sophia? Really, really nice girl. So sweet. She's got banter. Really, really, really nice girl. And just to add emphasis to this, he had been like, I'm going to bring my girlfriend to the pub. I want you all to meet my girlfriend. You'll see how amazing she is. And we were like, fucking can't wait to meet the girlfriend. Because we were like, we were like, oh, we rode for this man. He was so diehard for his girlfriend. So, God. We meet her. We love her. The next day, they're all going to Alton Towers. So I say, are you going to Alton Towers? And she was like, no, I think I've just have to work or something like that. There was a full reason why she couldn't go. So there was 2 boys and 2 girls going to Alton Towers. They were all in relationships, okay? Now, my inside sources tell me that Steve and Amy were seen at Alton Towers holding hands, okay? Now, first of all, it gets so much worse. But that, I was like, nah, you introduced us to your girlfriend a mere 12 hours ago. Told us you were going to propose, how you were going to do it, where you were going to get the ring from, everything. I think they had a dog together, didn't they? Maybe I've made that detail up. They had a house, a mortgage. So they're seen holding hands. It only progressed from there. It got worse from there. So at this point, one of the girls decides, I'm not fucking getting involved in this. She then distances herself from them. We later find out that they're messaging all the time. He's saying, I can't stop thinking about you. I know how wrong it is. We went to the pub, again, a nice pub night. Sophia drives past because she didn't go to the pub. And it was like something from a movie. God. Amy leant up against the back of the car. Steve, hand over the top of the car. Now, we can only assume, come on, Joe, we can only assume there's a little kissy going on there. Might I remind you, husband and children, girlfriend we're proposing to, okay? So that was that. And he was taking her home.
Every night.
Every single night, or they'd car share or whatnot. But also, he would go to, like, they would go to each other's houses just after work randomly.
And her house was like the complete
Opposite direction.
Like, opposite.
Yeah. Oh, God, there was so much that went down. So much that went down. Then, I'm on a team with these people. Amy, hairline fracture to the wrist, right? Has to go to A&E. I'm like, go to A&E, babe. Get it checked out. Because you never know with these things. Like, it could just be a sprain or you could have broken it. She goes to A&E. Of course, we all know, God bless the NHS, but those wait times are pretty hefty. She's there from like 7 till 2. He goes to meet her in A&E after work. We finished at 11. I think it was a late finish that day. So he had gone to sit with her and keep her company in A&E, whilst I can only imagine her husband is at home concerned for her, caring for the children that she birthed. we've been fucking new. Then they wanted to be on the same rota together all the time, but they couldn't be on the same rota. There was a whole load of drama about that. I cried quite often. It was a big old drama. HR got involved. We just love HR. And then we had like end of year party situation. There's a photo booth. Sophia is working the photo booth. Them pair are together taking the pictures. He's got his hand on her ass. He's got her hand on her ass. Remove it. Remove your hand, kind sir. So, yeah, there was so many shenanigans that went on at this workplace. We live for it. We absolutely live for it. We were actually going to tell the girlfriend. We were. But the situation resolved itself because they've now broke up. So
Because of it.
Was it because of that?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know. Wow. So yeah, that's the tea on that. But that takes us to the end of today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you would like more episodes like this, obviously it's not spilling the Reddit tea. I would love to hear your feedback on this. I feel like it's just a way of us getting to know each other like a little bit more. And I promise you, my life is not this drama filled. I had to really sit and think about what I was going to talk about in today's episode. But I do hope you've enjoyed. If you would like to send in a story, head over to our socials. On Instagram, it's Tea and Two Sugars Podcast. And on TikTok, it's Tea and Two Sugars Pod. If you tap the link in the bio, you'll get a little list pop up and it says send your stories in here. There are so many good ones for next week. I can't wait to read them out. There is a giveaway running, I do believe, on our socials, so go check them out as well. And I will see you next week. Tatty bye. Mwah.
Please fill my cup. Am I really asking for much? It's been a long week, I'm looking for fun. Please fill my cup. Find me under the sun. SOS, I'm just looking for a good time. Oh, 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 oh. And I'm singing like, whoa.